enlighten your trading with candlestick charts. Okay, how do you use candlesticks and the candlestick patterns to have a successful trading? This particular tool, which is of candlesticks, is mainly used in positional trading. However, you can also use it on smaller time frames of 5 minutes or 15 minute charts as well. And you can even use it for currency as well as commodity charts. However, higher the time frame, the better. And that's why you can use it on daily or weekly time frames and you will get some better returns. Firstly, we will look at the introduction to candlesticks. Followed by that, we will look at the anatomy of a candle. Then we will discuss some candlestick psychology. And we will look at a quick guide for a trader when you're using candlesticks, what all you need to remember. And then we will look at some important bullish candlestick patterns, which you can use for your actual trading. And at the end of the video, we'll look at a checklist for trading candlesticks as such. Okay. Now, friends, however, after sharing with this, let me say this at the beginning itself that this video is for an education purpose. And in order to know the exact plan of action or a proper trading guideline for using candlesticks, where you use it with in conjunction with some other technical tools, that is something which we discuss in our live videos or in our live sessions. Request you all to please attend those sessions. I will at the end of this video I will tell you as to how can you do that on our Sherkhan's website, and all those sessions, all those live sessions, or even the recorded sessions, are available free of cost to all the Sherkhan customers. So you need not worry about it. So let's have a quick look at the introduction of candlesticks. Firstly, it's a Japanese technique, and regarding the history regarding it, it is one of the ancient ways of using technical analysis, I would say. It was used, I guess, firstly in 11th or 12th century by a person called as Mr. Munehisa Homa in Japan. Okay, he used it for rice trading. So trading in commodities was the first instrument where the candlesticks were used. However, a person by the name Steve Nissen, who actually went to Japan in the last century, and he kind of popularized this particular technique to the entire Western world and to the rest of the world as well. So candlestick is basically nothing else but a type of chart which gives you four price points: open, high, low, and close for a particular candle, like the bar chart as well. However, there is some difference, and for that we need to understand how the candlestick is formed. So this is how the candlestick looks. It has the open price at the one end of the rectangular body. It has the highest and the lowest price at the extreme ends of the vertical lines which are above or below the rectangular body. And finally, it has the closing price on the other end of the rectangular body. The rectangular body is called as the real body, which is actually the real price action. It's the real essence of the price action as per the Japanese technique. And the shadows above and below the rectangular body are referred as emotional extremes. Okay. So the vertical lines above or below the body are called as shadows or tails or wicks. Okay. Now let's look at how the candlestick gets color for it. So if the price is open at a particular rate, bulls take control and they finally close above the opening price, then the color is green for the candle. Whereas if the price is open at a particular rate, bears take the control, they take the prices lower, and the close is below the opening price, then we get a red color candlestick. This is something which is very, very important. Now, along with this, we also have one other type of a candle which is very rare but can be very helpful for trading. Okay, which is a candle called as doji candle. So where the prices open at a particular rate, bulls take control, prices go up, then bears come in, they hammer the prices down, then again bulls come in, and finally the open and close are almost near to each other, wherein you don't get to see a kind of a rectangular body for that candle as such, and hence that is called as a doji candle, which means it's a complete indecision. No one was in control, and that's why you have this candle. Now, I just saw this kind of a candle, I think, on the chart of Yes Bank, if I'm not wrong. Let me just show that to you. On the daily chart of Yes Bank, yesterday, if you see the candle, the open and close are exactly the same. So you don't get to see any rectangular body. However, if there is a small difference, also you can still call it as a doji candle. Okay, now how do you trade that candle? You ideally wait for a close either above or below the high and the low respectively of that candle, and then that particular price action decides the trend going forward. Let's look at the psychological aspects of the candlesticks, which they tell us. and they are very useful for us as traders. First of all, it allows us to draw out a story. By just looking at the candle, you would be able to measure what was the buying pressure and what was the selling pressure for the candle. So the buying selling pressure is from the highest point of that candle to the close price, that becomes the selling pressure. And the opposite of it, from the low to the close, that becomes your buying pressure. Now, since this candle has a lot of buying pressure, we call this as a bullish candle, not only because the color is green, remember that, okay? Because there might be a scenario where the color is green, but the candle has a lot of selling pressure. We will discuss that in some time. Okay. Secondly, it's the color. We all know that bulls should be in control in an uptrend. And if you see a lot of green candles, that's what it means. And in a downtrend, if you have a lot of red candles, you know that the bears are governing the trend. Followed by that, it's the size. And ideally, this size is of the rectangular body and not the entire length of the candle. Big size real bodies in an uptrend with green color shows you that the uptrend is very strong, whereas a lot of red candles with big size real bodies in a downtrend, as you can see here, would show you that the downtrend is very strong. So big candles show you the strength of that particular trend, whereas small candles, small real bodies will show you that the trend might be weakening. It might change afterwards, or it might continue after a while. But at that point in time, you would understand that the trend is weakening a lot. And of course, last but not the least, there is something called as tail of tails. Those shadows or those wicks or those tails, as I told you, the vertical lines above and below the rectangular body, they tell us so many things. Usually, a long upper shadow, it's very logical to now understand by looking at the buying and selling pressure. The long upper shadow tells us that there's a lot of selling pressure, whereas a long lower shadow tells us that there is a lot of buying pressure. This is an example. This is a green candle, right? However, whether the candle is bullish or bearish, the best answer can be given when you calculate the buying and selling pressure. So if this is the buying pressure from low to the close, this is the amount of selling pressure. And look at that, the selling pressure is much, much more than the buying pressure. And in spite of candle being green, it will still be a kind of bearish candle because of the buying and selling pressures. Somewhere similar to this, on the opposite direction, I witnessed when markets had crashed in 2008. Those who have followed the markets then would remember that the markets had actually gone down by almost 60%. But right at the bottom, in somewhere in the month of October of 2008, you got a candle like this, which looked red. But look at the buying pressure from low to the close. This much is the buying pressure, whereas the selling pressure was only this much, and that kind of marked as the low of the 2008 crash. So these kind of patterns, they really work wonders if followed by a proper discipline, and that's what something which we teach in our other live modules. Now friends, let's have a quick look at a guide for a trader, and then we will enter into the candlestick patterns as such. So firstly, they are early trend reversals. So why I as a trader personally like to use candlesticks is because they allow you to get into the trade very early at the beginning stages of the particular trend. They give you early trend reversals, which means that the trend is already in place and that trend is going to change. So let's say the prior trend was down, then you get a bullish candlestick pattern, then you can expect that the trend might get up or it might trade sideways. But remember, for that thing to happen, it is compulsory that the prices should have a trend prior to that candlestick pattern, which we are going to be discussing. If you see a candlestick pattern, which is usually a very effective pattern, but if you get it during a sideways price action, it may not be effective because it requires a prior trend so that it can reverse that, but it can change that. The candle should definitely be completed. If I just look at let's go with the Nifty chart for that matter to start off with. Okay, this is the chart for Nifty, and this candle, as you can see, it's currently getting formed, and it is not yet closed because we are at around 12 o'clock, and the markets close at 3:30, as we all know. So I should not be taking any I should not be expecting anything out of this candle. I should not be drawing out any story from this candle, as we've learned, unless and until the candle is closed. I can call this as a kind of a doji candle. Okay, I can call definitely this candle as a strong bearish candle because all those candles are complete. Okay, so we need to remember that. Then candlesticks can't be a system on their own. As a trader, you require three price points: entry, stop loss, and targets for your trade. Okay, so candlesticks, they might give you entry and stop losses, but for targets, you have to combine them with the other Western tools like support resistance, trend analysis, trend lines, Bollinger Bands, moving averages, various chart patterns, or various indicators, and etc. And that is something which we do in our live module, and you can go through that and you will understand it. Now, risk reward also is of prime importance. We will be discussing that at the end of this video as a kind of introduction. Now, friends, let's look at some important candlestick patterns. Patterns are nothing else but the interplay of the characteristics which we discussed while discussing the candlestick psychology. So the color, size, and shape of the candle, the tail of tails. So if you combine all of them together, a candlestick tells you whether it's likely to take the prices up or down going forward. And that's how we get the candlestick patterns. So either if it requires only one candlestick, it's called as a single candlestick pattern, which can be hammer, dragonfly, doji, shooting star, or gravestone doji. If it requires two candlestick patterns, these are the two candlestick patterns which are important. Okay. Now, let me tell you, there are hundreds of other candlestick patterns. We are not discussing all of them. What was important is the candlestick psychology and the drawing out the story aspect, which we discussed. So if you go through any other pattern, you would be able to understand the implication based on what we've learned. However, in case you have any doubts regarding a particular pattern, you can attend our live session regarding trading. Okay, and you can ask us those questions, or you can mail us at classroom@sherkhan.com. Okay. Now let us talk about the patterns which you're going to be learning. We are only looking at the bullish patterns mainly because, as I said, ideally we should use candlesticks on some higher time frame charts, which means you may not be able to take an intraday trade. And as we know that in equity markets, you can't short sell a stock for a period of more than 1 day, and hence we are only looking at the bullish pattern. However, the bearish counterparts of the same patterns are exactly similar in the characteristics, only that they would be completely opposite of it. Okay, we will maybe discuss that whenever we are discussing these patterns. So starting off with, let's look at the most important, most effective, and very popular pattern, which is called as a hammer. We will take this pattern in detail, friends, so that the other patterns, it becomes easier for us to understand how the price action takes place. So let us say the prior trend was down, which is the first condition for this. Okay, and then at 9:15, the price is open at a particular rate for this particular stock, might be anything. Prices go down like this by around 11:30 or 11:45. Then they go up, and then finally at 3:30, this is how a candle looks. And as you can see, it looks exactly like a hammer, and that's why it is called as a hammer. It's a bullish reversal pattern, which means after a downtrend, you're expecting the prices to go up ideally. Lower shadow should be twice the size of real body. So this lower shadow should be at least two times of the size of real body. Again, if you combine it with the buying selling pressure, it roughly tells you that your buying pressure should be at least two times of your selling pressure. It should have a small real body. Color is not important. However, I would say green color is always preferred as an hammer. Okay, it will increase your probability. This green color small real body should appear at the top of the trend. It should not ideally have a big upper shadow. That's the most important condition. It can have a small negligible upper shadow, say 10% of around the lower shadow, but otherwise if it has a lot of upper shadow, then the buying and selling pressure goes for a toss. So that is not important. Now let's look at the criteria. Primarily, market has to be on a downtrend. Small real body should be near at the top of the trading range. Lower wick twice the size of the real body. Low of the hammer will act as a support, so you can use that as a stop loss. However, I would want to make this point very clear, especially about candlesticks. The low of the patterns which we are going to be discussing, friends, they usually act as a stop loss. However, the stop loss should be on a closing basis. As I told you, candlesticks give a lot of importance to the closing price, and hence a trade can only be stopped out if the price is close below a hammer and not just go below the hammer. Okay, so a very small upper wick, say 10% of the lower wick, is acceptable. Okay, prices will often retrace the lows, and that's the time when you would enter into that particular trade on the long side. And color of the real body is not actually important. However, as I said, I will prefer trading into a green color candle. Okay, now how do you trade a hammer pattern? If it's occurred at an area of support, well and good. You can just buy at the close itself. Or if it's not, then you can definitely, as an aggressive trader, you can buy at the close. You can, as a moderate trader, you can buy above the high of the hammer. Or as a conservative trader, you can decide to buy on a close above the hammer on the next candle itself. Okay. Now this is how we have planned the plan of action for every pattern. Okay. Now we are not going to be discussing the pattern in detail as such. Okay, but we will look at the criterias and the plan of action. I hope that should be sufficient. So a Dragonfly Doji is, let me tell you, let me just put this forward, everything like this. It is exactly like a hammer. The only difference is it is a kind of doji pattern, okay, and it does not have any real body. Otherwise, all the characteristics which we saw for hammer, prior trend should be downtrend, the lower shadow should be really high, and there should not be any upper shadow, and all those things are true for this pattern also. But the most important thing is that there should not be any real body or a very negligible amount of real body, and that's what we call as a dragonfly doji. Same way to treat it. Ideally, we look at this whether it occurred at an area of support priorly or not in order to check the probability. In case you're not aware about supports and resistance, you can always go to the video which we have under the trading toolbox section on the classroom page. I will show that to you at the end of this video. If it's occurred, then you can buy at close. If it's not, then as an aggressive, moderate, or conservative trader, that can be a price, plan of action. If you ask me as a trader, be it any pattern, hammer, dragonfly, doji, or the other patterns which you're going to be discussing, I prefer buying or I prefer entering into that trade based on that particular pattern only in the next candle when it goes above the high of that bullish pattern. Okay, that's my personal plan of action. Okay, I would just like to share that with you all. And I use candlesticks for almost all my trades which I execute in my account. Okay, so we looked at hammer. The bearish counterpart of that is called as shooting star. You can just read about it in case you want. Then we looked at dragonfly doji. The bearish counterpart of that is called as greystone doji. Okay, then we have two candlestick patterns. First being the piercing line. This is how the piercing line pattern is. The prior trend is downtrend. Then you get the first candle, which is a big red candle. Second candle, which is something which opens below the close of the first red candle, but then closes more than 50% of the real body of the prior red candle. That's the main criteria. The second candle should close halfway into the real body of the red candle. That's the main criteria. And ideally, both candles should be big size candles. They should not be small real bodies. Okay, lowest low of the pattern should be referred as the stop loss, and that too on a closing basis. Okay, real body should be relatively long, as I said. So again, the same thing here also. My plan of action as a motor trader, I would buy when the prices go above the high. As a conservative thing, I would buy when the prices go above the high of the red candle, or maybe even the second candle for that matter, but not at the close definitely. And then the last pattern, which is the bullish engulf pattern, we are going to be looking at some live examples of them on the real charts as well. Give me some time. So the prior trend is downtrend. Then you get the first candle, which is a red candle, and the second candle is a green candle. But the real body of a green candle, which should be relatively long, completely covers the real body of the red candle, and that's a bullish engulf pattern. It is like the second green candle's real body is engulfing, is covering the prior red candle's real body. That's a bullish engulf pattern. Okay. The real body of the red candle can be smaller. The color here is, however, important. The second candle has to be a green candle. First candle should preferably a small red candle. Okay, these are the criteria. First candle can also be a doji. It would even increase the probability, I would say. Okay, and again for trading, I would buy above the highest high of these two candles. When the prices go above that in the upcoming candles, then that's the right time to take a long trade. Now, before we go to this, let us look at some live examples. Okay, so this is the chart of Nifty, and as you can see, these are the candles. This is how the candles look. Okay, and if we even look at some smaller time frames chart, as I said, you can even refer to the smaller time frame chart. Okay, and you would be able to see that I'm looking at a 15-minute chart. Okay, and right at this bottom here, as you would have seen, you get something which is very similar to a hammer, right? Let me take it for some more period of time. So that was the hammer. Then somewhat here, you would see something which is very similar to the piercing line pattern which we saw. Prior trend is down. The next green candle opens below the close of the big red candle previously. And then this closes more than 50% mark. And as you can see, what prices did after that. When we talk about the prior trend, we should ideally be looking at 15 to 20 candles at least. For intraday charts, you can look at say last couple of days data maybe, but otherwise that's a kind of guideline I would say. It's not a rule per se, but that's a kind of guideline. Okay, then we have a bullish engulf pattern which can be somewhat like this, where this green candle is completely covering the prior red candle. And the dragonfly doji, this is not the exact dragonfly doji friends because it has a upper shadow. This should not be there, otherwise it's like a dragonfly doji pattern. Yeah, this can be a very perfect dragonfly doji which has a very negligible real body. I know there is a negligible real body which can be visible, but this can be termed as a proper dragonfly doji. You would buy when the prices go above the high of this with the low as a stop loss on a closing basis, and it also appeared at a prior area of support, so that even increases its probability, and that's what happened going forward. Okay, the bearish counterparts of them. Okay, you can even look at something like this. What we looked at as dragonfly, this is a bearish counterpart, which is the gravestone doji, in case it does not have a real body. Now since this has a real body, we can call this as shooting star, the exact opposite of a hammer or a dragonfly doji which we looked at. Okay, and opposite of that, opposite of the bearish engulf, bullish engulf pattern which we looked at, something like this, which you can see here, is a perfect bearish engulf pattern, which is completely opposite of the bullish engulf, where the prior candle is green candle, then a big red candle whose real body completely covers the prior green candle. But for the as per the guideline, you should only, that's what I follow, you would only short when the prices go below this low. And that is something which did not happen. As you can see, prices traded sideways for a while and they continued that uptrend going forward. Okay, so that is something which we need to remember. The plan of action is very important. This is again a shooting, this is again a hammer. Here on top you see a shooting star, and dark cloud cover is not very what we say, is not very famous, or it's not very frequent I would say, and hence it's difficult that we find it. But it's the complete opposite of the piercing line pattern which we saw. Right, so these are the various pattern friends. Okay, and we discussed the plan of action also. We discussed how do we trade it better also. Now we are going to be looking at a quick kind of checklist, as I say. Okay, which can be used for which can be used for us, used by us for taking perfect trades based on candlesticks. Okay, let me just show that to you very quickly. But before we talk about that, as I told you, we will be taking a small introduction about risk reward. We cover this also in our live modules at a nice stretch. We take that along with money management, which is the most important thing for traders, friends. So risk reward is what? What is risk? It's the difference between your entry and stop loss, and the reward is the difference between your entry and target. And the ratio between both of them is called as a risk reward. You should ideally be taking a trade wherein your reward is more than the risk, and at least the risk reward ratio is 1:2. That's a part of money management. You can attend our live modules and get to know more about this. But now let's quickly look at a small checklist for taking candlestick trades. Firstly, look at an important candlestick pattern which we discussed today. Any of that. Okay, you can check the prior trend. If the trend is there, then only that pattern is important, as we know. Is the candle supported by Western technical tools? Other technical tools like support resistance or any other moving average, a Bollinger Band, and etc. etc. If it's yes, is the risk reward favorable? That's also important. Then you can go ahead and follow the first rule of the candlestick pattern. So you can just buy it at the close. If not, then don't take that trade, because if the risk reward is not favorable, you should not be taking that trade. Even though everything else is falling in place, if the risk reward is not proper, you should ideally not be taking the trade. And if it's not supported with the Western technical tools, if the risk reward is favorable, you can follow the second rule, either aggressive, moderate, or conservative. Okay. And if it's not followed, the risk reward is not favorable, you should not again take the trade. As I told you, I personally follow a simple rule rather than complicating things like this. If the pattern is appearing at a prior area of support, then you should take the trade, provided the high of a bullish pattern is taken out in the upcoming candles. Okay. So with that, friends, I would say thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope this